across the stadium. But let's take a breather, and when we come back, we'll be telling you more. Glad to know you're still keeping faith with the Unity Station. At this moment, let's go to tell you that the African military game is one that has brought our African brothers to be in Nigeria, in Abuja in particular, to be part of the second edition of the African military game. Yesterday, the opening ceremony took place where our own president, represented by the vice president, declared it open with a message to participants. Over 3,000 athletes island participating for medals and laurels. Let's see that report if it's ready so that we'll begin from there.
It was a night of colorful displays, artistic showcase of the rich African culture, and endless entertainment as the 2024 military games came alive with the opening ceremony at the main bowl of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja. Represented at the ceremony were the 25 participating countries who were joined by host Nigeria as they gave a sneak peek of what to expect for the next 10 days. Grand patron of the games, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, while declaring the event open, encouraged the participating countries to embrace the spirit of sportsmanship while promoting unity among the different forces in African military.
Every leader and military strategist knows that the security challenges we face across our continent cannot be addressed through kinetic measures alone. We must refine and deepen the friendships and partnerships that have long existed amongst us. Sports not only keep us physically fit, but also instill and promote core values such as integrity, excellence, and discipline.
In a world often marked by security challenges, conflicts, and crises, these games remind us of the power of collaboration and shared purpose. Through sports, we transcend borders and barriers, focusing on the ideals of teamwork, discipline, and mutual respect.
Today, in Abuja, Nigeria, marks not just commencement of remarkable African Military Sporting Festival with the theme Enhancing Military Cooperation in Africa through Sport. Also, a celebration of unity, strength, and indomitable spirit of our great continent, Africa.
About 3,000 athletes are participating in the second edition of the African Military Games 2024 with medals up for grabs in 19 sports. The closing ceremony comes up on the 30th of November 2024. In Abuja, Suleiman Musa, NTA News.
All right, thank you, Suleiman, with that report where we saw the beauty, the aesthetic creativity around that Moshood Abiola National Stadium. And I know our men are very, very much on ground. A team of NTA correspondents are on ground to give us updates of so many things that are happening there. But let's see if we'll be able to link up with our own buddy who wouldn't be here today. Reason that he's on ground at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium to keep tab of what is happening there. So if we're able to link up with Buddy, I would like to get the latest update as far as the competition is concerned. Let's see whether Nigeria has been able to clinch the first medal in any of the sports, and probably who is winning and who is losing so far as far as that military games are, is concerned. But while we try to get Buddy on the line to give us update, let's begin to look at other issues in the meantime. Now, don't forget, yes, we saw how the Super Eagles qualified. Yes, I know it's no longer a story. Yes, we're going for the Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. Yes, we saw the top D group, but so many of football enthusiasts and fans were not happy with what they call lackluster performance as far as the last game was concerned. We're in our own very home soil. The movie of Rwanda came, showed us what they were able to do and got that 3 points. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for them, but they showed us that yes, there's still something they could offer. And don't forget, we're still in the same group with them as far as the World Cup qualifier is concerned. So I think if anything, if that match is anything to go by, is for us to learn our lesson and go back to the drawing board. Our own very coach, Augustine Iguabon, will have to do a lot of homework to be able to surmount those the Rwandans. Don't forget, the first leg ended in a stalemate where they shared the spoil and coming, in the second leg to defeat Nigeria. I think it wasn't so good. A lot of arguments out there whether Nigeria were just too relaxed because they had already qualified before that match. But I think other people always argue that you play for pride too. So I think they would have gotten that 3 points, or if possible, also shared the points at the end of the day. But they were able to qualify. But another thing we want to also draw our attention this the program is talking about the Libyans. Yeah, we saw how the Libyans tried to fight back to see if they could also qualify after their antics of being not a good host or in hospitality, I want to call it. And we saw after the Nigerian incident, we thought they had learned their lesson, but we also saw them repeating it to the Benin Republic team, where I think the captain of Benin also spoke on the social media to say it wasn't a good experience. So at least now CAF and other the FIFA, the World Governing Body, will see what Libya is up to, and I think the necessary measures should be taken, and probably for them to learn their lesson to say this is not the way to host or welcome visiting teams when it comes to the game of football or any other sports. I think you should learn to be a good host when you are hosting. They wanted to qualify by all means, but unfortunately, it didn't work for them, and they should be able to learn the lesson. Let's see if we can get Buddy at this juncture. Hello, Buddy Adele.
Many thanks, Abdullah. Good afternoon. How are you today?
I am fine, buddy. Yes, our viewers will be missing you, your insight and perspective from this side of the discussion, but they will not be missing so much because we have you on the line now, live in the studio to talk to us, give us an update of the Africa military game that Nigeria is hosting. We just saw the opening ceremony, which we played. So how far so far as we speak now?
Abdullah, it's been a very busy week here at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja. And of course, yesterday we saw the height of it. And of course, the opening ceremony, what a colorful one, as the report, actually depicted. We saw, the rich African culture and even the Nigerian culture being put in place. And of course, it was on full display. And we could see also, the Nigerian military, the Nigerian, armed forces. They showed that, this entertainment thing too, that they've got it. It was a powerful event. We must give it to them. They've set they've laid down a marker that's going to take time for anybody to, I don't think, since the 2014, centenary celebration, I don't think we've seen that type of event at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium here in Abuja. So upon the opening ceremony, that was what we saw, on Wednesday night. And of course, since today, we've seen so many events, and even yesterday there was, action in the handball event. And today, handball has continued. We've seen basketball, we've seen wrestling, we've seen boxing, we've seen, taekwondo. Football is set to begin anytime soon now from the main bowl of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. And of course, so many sports writers, they are down there in Kiri at the Nigerian Army Training School there. For the obstacle crossing, it's been interesting. They've been there since 9. So the packages A and B of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, very much busy, Abdullah.
Okay.
Military games everywhere.
But thank you for that update. But before we let you go, one would imagine or think that, the military, the armed forces, their preoccupation have always been go to war, go and fight, defend the country. So are we saying those skills of sportsmen and sportswomen? What are we saying? Are we seeing them exhibiting real skills of sportsmen?
Quite interesting. And of course, I had somebody on the show today who talked about what you just, really expressed. And it's quite interesting to see the other side of our military guys. And of course, just from yesterday, you could see them from the opening ceremony. They gave a very good rendition of, Are You My Friend by Johnny Drill. Johnny Drill will be so proud. We never knew that side of them. And they did it, even better than the entertainers themselves. And I think that's huge. But one thing is that the military and paramilitary in Nigeria, if we go back to those days, back in the day, they used to be the ones that that supplied Nigeria, the mainstay, of our athletes. And of course, that's what we're getting to see again. They are gradually coming back. So I expect, nothing. I wouldn't know why you want a normal athlete to do better than a military person in shooting. So I think shooting is supposed to be their thing.
Okay.
And of course, if someone is in the Nigerian Navy, the person should do well when it comes to
swimming,
rowing, canoeing, and sailing. And of course, if you're talking about maybe even long jump, high jump, because most people, they are training with these. And of course, boxing, wrestling, combat. They're very
all right.
good with it.
But lastly from me, please, and you have to be brief before we let you go. Any medal prospect for Nigeria? Because we have to be biased a little. Yes, we're hosting. Do you think we host to win? Do we have that prospect?
I will assure you, it does look like that. We have about 774 athletes. That means all the local governments in Nigeria have been represented.
Okay.
So with that, you wouldn't expect anything less. So I don't think there's any country that even has, half of what we've got here. So the advantage, the home advantage, and of course we've got the men, who can do that for us. So it's Nigeria's to lose. I don't think, anyone can beat us to that.
All right. Thank you very much. Unusually sensation, Bade Adele from the other side, talking to us live, from the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, where it is currently happening. We so wish to be with you to watch and catch glimpses of some of those highlights you've given us. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Abdullah.
All right, that was Bade, our regular studio analyst, who wouldn't be with us, for reasons which we've known now. At least he's giving us an update of what is actually happening at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. Thank you for your time, Bade. All right, let's quickly, like we were saying, so we have already qualified for the AFCON 2025, and there are so many big African big names to have qualified, except for the Black Stars of Ghana. I want to say probably it's a bad time for them, not being able to pick that ticket. It's going to be unfortunate for them, but probably it's a plus for us, so that we'll begin to do a calculation of elimination of those that will stand on our way for our own probably fourth title of the AFCON. But like we say, Augustine Eguavon needs to do a lot to be able to put the Super Eagles, put more vibe in them and more winning mentality when it comes to playing for the national team. Away from that, let's quickly also tell you that the Super Falcons of Nigeria will be knowing their opponents probably or hopefully tomorrow in the 13th edition of the AFCON in Morocco, which is tomorrow, Friday. So we'll be looking forward to knowing who the Super Falcons will be playing with and what group will they find themselves. And don't forget, 9-time African champions. Yes, they're still top there, and we hope that that winning mentality and that dominance when it comes to African women football will still be there. And don't forget, when it comes to the international stage too, I think women are doing us proud and not leaving anything to chance when it comes to representing us. This juncture will be opening the phone line to see if you would be able to be part of what we're saying or additional to you on the program today, especially talking about the African military game, the Super Eagles or Super Falcons, and also, if possible, talk about the Nigerian Premier Football League, where I know the big boys are still, ruffling sure, feathers to see what happens at the end of this 2024-2025 season. So the phone line to call is on the screen. So we'll be looking forward to hearing from you to be part of the program today, as always. Now, away from that, just recently, the President of the Republic of Nigeria appointed a DG for the National Sports Commission. Earlier, we saw the appointment of the chairman, someone who is so familiar with football in the country, but this time around, in the capacity of the chairman of the National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko. Now we have Bukola Olopade, who is now the DG. So they'll be working together to ensure that we get a total turnaround of sporting activities in the country. Yes, he has assumed, and upon his assumption, I learned he has also made his first appointments of special assistants, about 3 of them, which I think should be helping him to be able to hit the ground running. And Nigerians, I know, as sports loving people, would not expect anything less other than victories, other than good football or sports administration, which will translate to winning and getting us medals, if not in the nearest future, but in the long future, which I think we've not done badly in recent time, but I think we expect more. And with this development, we should be seeing that result is being turned out on the table. Now, if we take it away from that, we'll quickly look at the Nigerian Premier Football League. One issue I'm bringing, to the program today is not the issue of the result now per se, but there's the issue of our own people accepting now our own league. Yes, several times we've come here to talk about why are we not supporting our own teams back home. We always talk about the Arsenal, the Manchester United, the Barcelona, the Real Madrid, but we have our own Kano Pillars, we have our own Ayimba, of our own Plateau United, but what support have we brought to them? But I think we're beginning to get it right this time around with what we saw in Kano Pillars returning, to their home, stadium in Kano, and we saw how the stadium was full to capacity. Hello. Good afternoon. Please, can you move away from your TV set if you want us to hear you? Can you move away from your TV set? This is Capital Sports. All right, I think that caller wasn't ready to talk to us at this moment. So, like I was saying, the encounter between Kano Pillars and Heartland of Owerri was an interesting one. That match ended 2-2, and we saw the support, the home support that the same as Igida fans brought, and it's so beautiful. And this is just the way, to go. And if we go like this, sponsorship, the issue of sponsorship, the issue of improving our league, I think would be a thing of the past. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, quickly, your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Okay, my name is Tony. I'm calling from Ukwa. My question is, when we're talking about grassroots development,
Yes.
We used to have things like developing students from sports competitions,
Yes.
looking at inter-house sports and things like that.
Yes.
But we don't have that anymore today. We seem to be having less of that kind of things in schools these days.
Okay, Tony, if I may respond, even though I'm not in a position to tell you as an administrator, but as a sports journalist, I know we've had several of these youth development competition. Just recently, the 10th Senate President Cup was concluded under 18 here at the old parade ground. And before then, we also just about 2 weeks now we saw for the first time, the Universal Basic Education Commission organizing competition for students in the junior and primary school, which I think also took place here in Abuja. The whole, about 25 states brought their students, pupils to participate, which also ended, I think, on a Friday. So even though we might not be there, but I think there are the effort is there to ensure that this grassroots sports development is there. But we can do more. We also have the respective schools which are who are supposed to also come up with programs, developmental programs in trying to discover, identify, and nurture some of these young talents that could be ripe for national glory. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Okay, well, that caller is still not ready to talk to us. But this is Capital Sports, and if you're sports inclined, I think this is where to be at this time and to reach us to also let us know how you feel about some of these issues. So, apart from that, the UEFA Nations tournament, which has been on for for a while now, we learned that the men have now been separated from the boys, and as we speak. We have a couple of big names as far as European football concerned. France is still there, Spain, Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium. I think these are big names that have qualified for the quarterfinal. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, sorry. I'm sorry, but I want to ask you about the school that you're doing.
Hello, what are you saying?
No, I heard you don't say that you have a place that you finish you have a chance.
Okay, what we just said was somebody asked a question about grassroots schools, sports development, and we said there were about two that were just concluded at the old parade ground here. Your TV set, I think, is affecting the call. We just have to let you go at this moment. So I think these are some of the issues we bring into you on the program, and we want to thank you for your company. Hopefully, see you next week when we come with another issue on the program. And don't forget to always follow us on our social media handle and continue to keep faith with the Unity Station NT Channel 5 Abuja. I want to thank especially my director, Nalego and Musa, who have been behind the scene to ensure that everything is gotten to you seamlessly and effortlessly, and also the cameraman here. I remain Abdullah Herje, thanking you for your time on the program Capital Sports. Let's do it again, same time, same station next week. Bye for now.